hopefully was a wonderful holiday weekend. On paper, it's the end of the summer, but I know for you guys over there on the East Coast, it is anything but, and down there in Texas. In fact, anywhere and everywhere, probably apart from like me in Alaska. But it is great to see you. Welcome. If this is your first time that you have joined us, we have a treat in store for you. Thank you for popping along and joining us for this next 30 minutes. We spend this time really sharing with you our newest and greatest Skillbridge internship opportunities that we've taken in the last week, as well as job roles on the permanent side that may be of interest. And then we go at the end to a question and answer session. So before we get going, before we start today, if you do have anything that you wanted to ask us at all, please do drop a comment in the chat. We want to hear from you. Kate, Matt, Amber and I talk all day, every day. You know, we could spend the last 10 minutes having a conversation between ourselves, but we want to hear from you. Also, let us know where you're watching from today. Give us a state. Tell us why you're interested in listening to what we've got going on. Are you a transitioning service member? Are you a spouse? Or are you a veteran already looking possibly for your next opportunity? If you fall into one of those three categories, we welcome you. It's great to have you here. And if you don't, if you're just along for the ride, welcome too. It really is our favorite 30 minutes of the week where we get to share some of our time with our population, our audience, really to be able to give back as much as possible. If you've joined us before, or if you have been with Mike and I, Mike Quinn, our CEO, and I on our LinkedIn audio office hours, you know that our inboxes are full. And we often don't get the opportunity to respond to every DM that we get. And that really hurts us. So if you do have a question, or if you do have like a niggling, like I'd really like to know your opinion on this, it can be to do with the transition out of the military. It can be to do with the job search, resume related, interview related. Please do hit us with it. We would love to hear from you. In the hot links today, you've got a few in the description. Let me just draw your attention to them. We've got the beginner's guide to an effective LinkedIn profile. Take a look at that. How to target your resume. If you're making applications at the moment and you're wondering if your submission is optimum, definitely take a look at that, because I think it may well reposition and make you reconsider actually what a resume should look like. Have you joined our talent pool? Today, like I said, we are going to give a highlight reel of our newest opportunities that we've taken over the last week or so. But if none of those really speak out to you or really fit or sit in your skill set or what you're hoping to do post-military or in your next position, let me draw your attention to our website. The link is up here, hiremilitary.us. And on there, we have a talent pool where you can register your interest so that we send you updates when the newest roles come in. But also, you can take a look at our full careers page. Both Skillbridge internships and the permanent jobs are in 2 different locations, so you can see if there is anything there for you at all. Gosh, so many people are joining us today. Jonathan, hi. Mark, hi. Arthur, lovely to see you. Abigail, who else have we got? Kaylee. Gosh, everybody from all over the US. It's really great to have you here. A couple more things just wanted to draw your attention to. Mike Quinn, working with the USO Transitions team, is delivering 2 of his Mastering LinkedIn webinars this month. One is on the 20th of September, and the other is on the 25th. So the registration links are in this event description. But if you're not familiar what that is, he works with the USO to deliver a 2-hour webinar to teach you and educate not only how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, but then really how to use this platform to your best advantage in the networking, informational, interviewing, job search, sort of the creation of the next iteration of you post-active duty. So definitely register for one of those if you never have before. I've been to so many and I still learn something new every single time. And one last thing that we wanted to draw your attention to, every month, Hire Military on LinkedIn publishes a newsletter. And tomorrow is the next installment, and it will be around the 7 common mistakes that transitioning service members make on LinkedIn. So if you have any questions around that at all, please do throw those in the comments. Or if you made a mistake and you want everybody else to learn from you and what you've done or what not to do next, please throw that in too. We would love to hear that information from you. Let's get along with the introductions. I'm Lucy. I am an active duty military spouse. Like I mentioned, I am in Alaska. My husband is Air Force, and we are just outside of Fairbanks in the interior of Alaska at Eielson Air Force Base. So fall is definitely here to stay. Summer is gone and winter is absolutely on its way here. We're currently sitting at 46 degrees, but I will say it is only 10 a.m. here. Definitely not the afternoon, so we've got some time to warm up just yet. It's lovely to have you join us today, and I am going to hand over to Matt Collins. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Lucy. Enjoy that brisk Alaskan air. Matt Collins, I am the SkillBridge portion of our recruiting team here with Hire Military. I'm also a product of SkillBridge, so I'm a huge believer in the value. I see what it does, so really excited to talk about it today. I am a 20-plus year Army veteran myself. I spent the majority of my full-time career in the AGR space, so I can answer those questions if you have them as well. And I am now in beautiful Missoula, Montana, so not quite in the Arctic Circle there with Lucy, but it's starting to feel pretty brisk here as well and pretty nice. So looking forward to sharing some roles and talking with everyone today and connecting. And with that, I will pass it on to you, Mrs. Kate Wood.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Matt. Hi, everyone. Kate Wood. I'm the recruiting manager here at Hire Military. I'm an Army veteran, and my husband is still on active duty Army, so I'm now on the military spouse side of things. We are stationed at Oconus right now in Panama, as my husband's assigned to the embassy here. So really excited to connect with you all, seeing a lot of new names and faces there in the chats. Just want to shout out to Francis Prince in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Eglin Air Force Base is our last duty station. So Northwest Florida holds a special place in our hearts. So yeah, really excited to share some direct hire opportunities for you today. And I will pass it over to Amber.
Thank you, Kate. We have had a lot of comments today. I tried keeping up with them, and then they went really fast. So welcome if it's your first time here. I see a lot of new names, a lot of military spouses. That's really exciting. My name's Amber. I am a recruiter here. I'm in San Antonio. I saw lots of Texas folks popping on also. So I'm here in San Antonio, and it's not 46. I just had that little weather alert thing pop up down there on my screen that says there's some heat coming in. So I'm very happy to be here this afternoon. I'll be sharing a couple roles as we get started. If you have questions, be sure and drop them in the comments. If you have interest in any of the positions that we're going to be sharing this afternoon, be sure to drop the job title in the comments so we can go back afterwards and give you a link to apply. Lucy, I'll pass it back your way.
You're a star. Thanks, Amber. So let's get going. As we share our roles today, if you hear of something that piques your interest or you would like to know more, please do drop the job title in the comments. And the reason we ask that is because if you say interested, we cannot drop the URL as we are live. LinkedIn doesn't like us doing that. As soon as we type it in, it deletes it. So it just looks like we've positioned a blank comment. So what we actually do is we come back after the event to give you that detail. So as an example, HR manager, Philadelphia, if that's the role that you are interested in that we have mentioned, just type that in. In addition, don't wait on us. Be a proactive job seeker. If you hear of something you think, oh, that sounds interesting, go straight to our website above, look at our careers page. Like I said, both are broken out, the SkillBridge internships on one button and then the permanent jobs on the other so that you can take a look and make an application. What I will say to you is before you present the fastest finger on the button activity, do consider your resume before you even submit to us. We are the holding house. We are the halfway house. We are the organization that makes that really warm introduction to the company that we are working with. And we work with you to position you in the most optimum and best possible light. But so that we can see the value in your application and so that we don't have to read between every single line, really consider and make sure that the resume that you send across to us has been targeted, has been tailored, and it gives us the information that the job description is seeking. And I know that you will have heard that before. Make sure you target your resume, make sure you tailor your resume. And often that's like, okay, I think I've done it, but I'm not 100% sure. Or that's great to know, but what does that actually mean? And we understand that to people who are transitioning out of the military, this is their first rodeo. They've never done this before in the civilian space. It's overwhelming. And you don't quite know where to start, which is why we have developed and created that resource piece that we have hosted on our website under the resource section at the top called How to Target Your Resume. And it really does walk you through step by step. And it actually gives you a real world example as well of taking a job description and putting it into a resume so that you can see exactly what to do. So really would love to draw your attention to that. So today we are going to talk about SkillBridge internship opportunities, permanent positions, and then we will answer some of your questions at the end. So keep those coming. We've already made a note of those from the comments so far. And SkillBridge is slightly different. Not everybody has always heard of it when they come onto our live. So I am going to hand over to Matt Collins, our SkillBridge recruiter. And Matt, why don't you just give us a brief introduction into what SkillBridge is and who it's available to?
Sure, Lucy, I'd be happy to. So SkillBridge really, it serves as that bridge from military life, from your military career into the private sector, right, to the civilian workforce. So if you are still on active duty, SkillBridge is for you. If you're out, then it's direct hire. We have an incredible direct hire team to talk to. So if you're already out of the military and a veteran, SkillBridge is not the program for you. But if you are 6 months out from your ETS, from the armed forces, from the military, you are eligible for the SkillBridge program. And basically, really, it's time to have that conversation with your command team about a year out, 8 months out, that you're interested in participating. But SkillBridge is that 6-month internship. So 6 months out, if you're eligible to begin a SkillBridge program, you can join with one of the partners we have. We try to align you with a SkillBridge opportunity that works with your industry, with your skill set, with your experience, and where you want to be. So as Lucy said, really important, if you see a role today that we talk about, you're interested in, you can connect and link them with us. But I really, really recommend going to our website, to the hiremilitary.us website, and creating a profile in our talent pool, because that's going to let us, the SkillBridge recruiters, know exactly what your background is. We can really get an in-depth look at your resume, and we can see where you want to be and where you want to go. So again, if you're 6 months out from your ETS date, you are eligible to participate in the SkillBridge program across the DoD spectrum. So really start having that conversation if you're coming up on that timeline with your family, with your command team, with your chain of command, to make sure they understand you want to participate in it. And that is SkillBridge. So with that, I'm going to jump into some SkillBridge roles right now. We're going to talk about just a fraction of the roles we have. Again, as Lucy alluded to, if you go to our website and search SkillBridge internships, we have a lot more than the ones we're going to talk about today, but we're going to talk about some of our newest roles. So I'm going to jump right in. The first role is an EHS and training coordinator, and it's with a company called Masonite. I talk about Masonite all the time, but they really are one of our most incredibly veteran-friendly companies. So we love when we can find a home for a transitioning service member in a SkillBridge internship with Masonite. This role is in, I'm going to try to say this, I believe Nacogdoches, Texas, and I'm sure I've said that incorrectly, and I will every time I say it. So that's, again, an EHS and training coordinator role with Masonite in a city that begins with N, Texas. This role would involve working directly with the plant manager. You'd be providing oversight for EHS regulatory requirements and training coordination. You would also be planning, designing, developing facility occupational safety, environmental health programs. So really think safety focused. So if you got that background in operations and safety, this is really an interesting role to check out. The ideal candidate would also possess a bachelor's degree in engineering, safety or related career fields. An in-depth knowledge of OSHA regulations and requirements would really be a plus, as well as experience developing training programs and deliverables. So again, that's an EHS training coordinator with Masonite in Nacogdoches, Texas. I'm going to talk about another really cool Masonite role we have right now. It's a warehouse supervisor, also with Masonite in Birchwood, Wisconsin. This candidate would be responsible for warehouse inventory and staff, as well as assisting the warehouse manager with hiring and training of new employees and conducting performance evaluations. So Masonite's going to be seeking a candidate with an associate's degree at least in business or a similar discipline, along with at least 6 months of experience in distribution and manufacturing. So if you've got a supply background, supply chain logistics background, this would definitely be a role worth checking out. And again, that's a warehouse supervisor with Masonite and in Birchwood, Wisconsin. The next role we're going to talk about is an operations manager. This is with G-Force. The role is primarily in Los Angeles area, kind of the outer area as well, in Orange County potentially. It's a hybrid and remote role, so there'd be a kind of a mix of on-site as well as remote work with this. So that's very, very cool. G-Force, it's a parking lot striping company. They're the largest veteran-exclusive parking lot striping franchise in the country. So really, really cool, veteran-supportive company. This candidate would be responsible for assisting with the development, the initial setup of all their SoCal locations. You'd also act as the primary estimator for some of these projects. So if you've got 3 or more years of project management, estimation project. If you understand budgeting, fiscal responsibility, things like that, fiscal law. Fiscal responsibility is a different thing. I think that's what my wife talks about all the time. Preferably in construction-related background. This would be a really, really cool role to check out. Again, that's an operations manager role with GeForce, and that's in the greater Los Angeles area. And it does offer a hybrid remote work opportunity. And finally, I just want to touch base. We talk about them every week, but it's an awesome partner, Texas Instruments. Again, if you've got any kind of basic electrical and mechanical aptitude, 3+ years specifically of mechanical experience, they are, again, another facilities technician cohort that's going to be starting in 23 October. This is in Dallas, Texas, with an equipment tech opening as well in October for the Lehi, Utah location. So if you've got some mechanical aptitude and you're really interested in an opportunity with Texas Instruments, this is another really exciting SkillBridge cohort that's going to be starting in October. So that's Dallas, Texas, as well as Lehi, Utah. So that is our SkillBridge opportunities we're talking about today. But again, we have a ton of opportunities on our website that we don't get into every week. So if you have any questions, reach out, connect, hit us up on LinkedIn. Please go join our talent pool on the website there. With that, I will hand it over to Kate Wood to talk about some really, really cool direct hire opportunities. Kate?
Awesome. Thanks so much, Matt. And just as a reminder, the roles that we're going to talk about from now forward that Amber and I are going to mention, Lucy Robinson has a couple at the end as well. These are open to anyone that is available to start working within the next 1 to 2 months if you're a transitioning service member, a veteran, or a military spouse. And I just want to remind you again, like Matt said as well, if you are looking for state-specific roles, you can always go to our website, hiredmilitary.us. That's over here on the top of the screen. Search our career page by location. If you're looking for roles in a specific state as well. So I just have one opportunity to mention today. If you have been on to our broadcast or following our Hire Military pages on LinkedIn or across other social media channels, we have a really exciting opportunity as being one of the contractors on the new DoD-wide U.S. Army TAP program staffing. So in these opportunities, you will not only be assisting and working with transitioning service members across U.S. Army bases, but you'll also be a member of our team here at Tenova Hire Military. So if you are someone who is passionate about helping our military community, we'd love to have you apply for the roles that we have open and that we're currently recruiting for. So just 2 specific opportunities that I want to mention today. We have financial counselors at Fort Bliss, Texas, as well as potentially some other locations, as well as career skills program administrator at Fort Stewart, Georgia. So if you are someone that is looking for ways that you can directly impact the military community and those roles sound like interest to you, just type TAP in the chat and I will reach out with those direct links following the call, as well as connecting to share more information if those are something of interest to you. So that is just the role I have to share today. And Amber, I will pass it over to you for more direct hire opportunities.
Thank you. We have some really exciting opportunities today. And I also want to give a quick shout out to John Lamb in the chats today. So, hey, I'm going to share a couple more opportunities, starting with a software engineer. This position is in Richardson, Texas, so North Dallas. This is an on-site position working with a global company. It's a brand new team, and they are actually partnered and working on a highly critical project alongside another global and leading tech company. So this software engineer in Richardson will be responsible for writing, debugging, maintaining, and testing our client's software in various languages and levels, from firmware to application. Some of the things that you will need in this software engineer position include C# and .NET experience, as well as hardware and software integration experience. And last thing that they are really looking for is somebody who brings experience working with embedded technologies. So that's a software engineer. It is on site in Richardson, Texas. If you're interested, drop it into the chat and we will, I'll either share the link with you or you can go to hiredmilitary.us. I have one more to share, and it's a systems trainer. This position is at Fort Liberty, North Carolina. And this position will be supporting the U.S. Army Reserve component, and we'll work with our client, who is a woman-owned and minority-owned company. So as the systems trainer, you will help our client gain maximum value for overall mission success there on site at Fort Liberty. Some of the responsibilities include providing a variety of knowledge management training to staff and personnel on collaborative platforms. Think SharePoint, SPO, MillSuite on a weekly basis. in addition to other necessary coordination, development, that sort of thing for their key personnel. Qualifications for this systems trainer include 2 years of content management across digital and non-digital platforms, 2 years of experience in teaching or instruction of some sort, and an associate's degree. This position does require a clearance, a secret clearance within 6 months of a start date. So that's a systems trainer at Fort Liberty. And those are the 2 positions that I will be sharing this afternoon. Lucy, I'm going to pass it your way. I think you've got some exciting things to share also.
I've got something new to share with you guys today. And we have mentioned one of the SkillBridge internship opportunities was with veteran service brands, GeForce, parking lot striping. Well, actually, they are a larger entity that offer up, for those who are veterans, veteran only, franchise entrepreneurship, I struggle with that word, opportunities across the whole of the US. And we're partnering with them to get the word out about their opportunities right now, because they have some awesome franchise opportunities that I just don't think that our population has heard of or even been exposed to. So I'm going to give you the Cliff's Notes. I'm going to give you the top line. But if hearing more about it is up your street and you think, yeah, I'd like to know a little bit about that, you can either go directly to our website, hiremilitary.us. They are listed under the permanent employment opportunities, so under jobs. And if you type in franchise into the search line, all 4 will come up. Or I can drop you the URLs just after this event. So, like I said, these are franchise opportunities for vets only. This is a huge organization. It is a network of entrepreneurs across the US, all running their own businesses, but under this bigger entity. And so the 4 opportunities are a parking lot striping franchise. So veteran service brands want to be the go-to resource for all pavement marking needs across the country. This is a huge high demand business at the moment, because new asphalt, if you're not aware, which I wasn't, must have properly installed lines before use by the public, but also older parking lots need to be restriped on a regular basis. So that's their first franchise opportunity. The second is called Field Ops, Athletic Field Striping. And that is really designed to be a low-cost one. Often people have it as sort of like their side hustle. And you'll be trained on both the old school way of marking fields and the next generation of tools, which is basically robotics, when you attend the training, no matter which package you choose to work with them. The third one is called Mac1 Epoxy Flooring Franchise. So basically, you will run your own epoxy flooring business. You will do applications and repairs. Although most small residential jobs can be handled on your own, you may need to find part-time help. So it can create a bigger business for more larger commercial or industrial projects. And the last one is Paint Core House Painting Franchise. So this one, Paint Core, is on a mission to help fellow veterans run a world-class painting operation, painting business. So really, they set you up with everything that you need to create your own painting business for exteriors, interiors, cabinets, residential, commercial, you name it. They've got a limitless supply of work that needs to be done. And there is the full soup to nuts kind of support there. So not only do you get the training, but they work with you on business development. They work with you on leads. They are constantly in touch with each other on a daily, even hourly basis for that camaraderie and support. And I know I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times already, but I'm going to say it once again. Everybody within the organization is a veteran. So it is like the ability for you to be able to leave active duty or set up your own business post-active duty, but still with the same like-minded people around you. They get together on an annual basis at a conference, and they also talk regularly as well. So if that sounds of interest at all, please do drop a note in the comments, and I can definitely share more of that with you. We would love to make a warm introduction to that organization for you. So I'm really excited to be able to publicize that today. Last but not least, if you have your own SkillBridge internship opportunity that you have connected with, but you have no one to host it or they have yet to be authorized as a DoD partner, please do think of us, because we can facilitate that for you at a nominal fee to that organization. So just wanted to hit that one up there as well. I think that's about it from our opportunities perspective. What questions have we got today, guys? Let me take a look. So well, this isn't a question, this is a statement, but Carolyn said her last duty station was Fairbanks. So you feel me then, Carolyn. It's getting cold, and it definitely is going into the winter where we'll have those long, dark nights in a month or so. Samantha messaged, love that you have a recruiter specific to Skillbridge, however, would really like to see the same dedication to remote positions, especially for mil spouses and veterans. Thank you for all you do. Samantha, I completely agree. We would love that too. I feel like at the moment, our recruiters and the silos that they are in, the verticals that they are in, are really dedicated and have been established because of the corporate partners that have selected to work with us. My modus operandi is getting more remote work and more opportunities for male spouses. So absolutely take your comment into consideration. And I hope in 6 to 12 months' time, I'll be able to deliver on that and we will have that. And we're working towards it every single day. So thank you for your comment. Jonathan said, I'm having issues changing a federal resume to a civilian and backwards. Any suggestions? Kate, Amber, I'll throw that one over to you. Which one of you wants to pick that one up first?
We both came off mute at the same time. Amber, I'll let you go and then I'll caveat.
Sure. I think they are definitely two separate things. Length initially, that federal resume is going to be really long. They want to see a lot more experience than a traditional resume where you're going back maybe 10 years, 2 pages maximum. So in terms of like, how do you do that? That's tricky, and it will take some sort of time to figure it out, right? Figure out your rhythm of what works best for you. I'd say maybe having that shell of your federal resume first, and then converting it to a more civilian style resume. Maybe I'm not thinking of it correctly though. Okay, what do you think?
No, I think that's a great point, is that there definitely is a differentiation between the two, and submitting a federal resume to a non-federal job is almost kind of putting yourself in the no bucket right away, because a lot of recruiters, they don't even know how to look at a federal resume if they're not familiar with recruiting in the federal space. So I think that's a huge point that Amber mentioned there as well. And then aside from what Amber mentioned, you can definitely connect with organizations that help with our community with writing a resume. Someone like Hire Heroes USA is a great resource for our community that could help you, if you already have a shell of something, help you to bring your resume into a more corporate way of being able to read it as well. But definitely paring it down to 2 pages maximum is key to making sure your resume can really stand out when applying to non-federal jobs.
And you mentioned, that for kind of creating your resume. If you check out USA Jobs, they also have occasional webinars where they're going to walk you through what they want to see in that resume. So that would be really, really helpful. I will say though, every time I've looked at it, it fills up so quickly. And I don't know how many seats they have available, but it fills up really fast. So I'd say just kind of keep your eye on the website so that you really have your best shot at when it opens, and you can get into one of those courses.
And I think I would just add to that, don't change them back and forth. That's the first thing I would say. Have a version or an iteration of each. And USA Jobs, yeah, their webinars filled up, but they do have the ability for you to be able to use their tool to create your federal resume. Hire Heroes USA, if you connect with them, will be able to connect you with a career counselor who can really support you on both. And then when it comes to the civilian resume, I would take that and I would create that secondary to the primary federal, because it's such a short synopsis of information compared to the federal one. And the creation that we made on our website, the How to Target Your Resume, really will help you with that as well. But my advice would be to connect with a career counselor who has expertise in both, and because they will be able to set you on your way, on your journey, and knowing that ultimately the information in both is wildly different. It's hard in a 2 minute answer to be able to give you all of the information that you need. But sorry, I thought I was coming off here then. But you can definitely connect with a career counselor either at Hire Heroes USA, or the USA Transitions team is able to do that. And they have webinars as well. So that's a good point to be able to get that information. You guys, thank you so much for your time today. Matt, Amber, and Kate, I really love spending this 30 minutes with you and also with our audience as well. It's really great to see you here today. We will be back next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. But if you can't wait for us, if you want to interact with us before then, Mike Quinn, the Higher Military CEO, and I will be online at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday for our office hours with Mike and Lucy. So that event is on the Higher Military website. Do join us because it's far more interactive and we get the opportunity to actually have a conversation with you, and it's not recorded either. So we would love to see you there. If we don't, have a great week and we will see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.